Okay, let's talk about a problem that I'm almost certain you've had this year already. Finding the right contractor. How do you go about doing it? How do you know that you have the right person? I've got a process that we'll go through, and then at the end, I have a question for you as well. So where to start in the search? I would start with people that you know. And this doesn't mean that you just take their word for it, hire the contractor, and move on with life. We're going to talk about doing your homework on that company or individual in a minute. But let's start there. Neighbors, friends, family members, your local realtor, and then move, if you can't find the right person, to online sources. So maybe it's homeadvisor.com, thumbtack.com, angieslist.com. These are all sources who will assist in helping you find a contractor to do a particular job. And there are others, so Google is your friend in this case too, but that's where I would start the search, doing exactly that. Okay, round two. Once you have either a contractor in place or a few different options that you're considering, you want to go do some fact checking. So we want to make sure they're licensed and insured, and I'll put links to websites in the article on jacksonvillerealestatevideos.com in case you're watching this on YouTube. So let's go make sure they're licensed and insured. Let's go look at the permitting website for the county that you're in and run the contractor's name in the website to see how many permits they're pulling, if any. And if you're replacing carpet, that's not going to apply. But if you're putting a room addition on or replacing your roof or your AC unit, then certainly that comes into play. And then you want to make sure that just online you don't see any negative reviews. So let's go check Google, let's check Facebook, any other sort of industry website that may apply. See what you can find for other people talking about this vendor online. Okay, so the third thing that we want to do is try and make the process or bidding process competitive between the contractors who you've found, vetted, and now we're wanting them to compete a bit to make sure that you get the best price for your project. That said, in the last 2 years, that hasn't been happening a whole lot with a labor shortage and a run-up in owners doing home projects because they're taking out home equity loans, doing all of the stuff around the house because money was cheap that they could do. And we have more demand and less supply of contractors available to do the work. It's been tough to get multiple bids on a project. But as we get back to a more normal economic environment, this will become the case again, where once you've found and then vetted a few different companies or individuals who are going to do the work, let's make sure we're getting their best possible bid on the project. Okay, the fourth thing that we're going to do, and this is a mistake that I've made maybe twice in my 16, 17 years of buying houses, is especially if you don't know the person personally, don't pay for the entire project up front. So certainly if you're doing a whole home renovation, adding a roof, adding windows, there's going to be a portion of the project that needs to be paid up front to make sure that the builder can go get materials and get things started. But you shouldn't really be paying for 100% of the project up front as the consumer or as the owner of the property. Again, there may be exceptions to this rule, but be careful if a contractor is pushing you hard to pay them the entire portion up front. Just a little tip from a few mistakes I've made in years gone by. Okay, last thing here, and this is sort of the bonus section. We are working on, as an office, a vendor list, and we'll make it pretty and do some Photoshop work to it so that you can read it and know what's going on with it. But we're compiling a list of the vendors that we use in our office and wanting to make it readily available when you ask, hey, who's a plumber, who's an electrician, who's a roofer, who's a window company, and on, and just say, here is our vendor list. So 2 things. If you would like, when we're done compiling the list, to see it, shoot me an email, jeff@era.com. And if you have someone that you love, or even that you just like, that's a contractor that you would like to share and say, hey, here's somebody that I know that I think would be good to add to the list, I would love to see that as well. And again, just shoot me an email, or you can text it, jeff@era.com, and 904-405-1995. Hope you have a great day, and we'll catch up soon. Take care.